Carlos Alcaraz comes through in straight sets against Sasha Zverev last night. So does Danny Medvedev over Mr. Rubles. Two more correct predictions. You had heard it here first, right at Coffee Break Tennis, the most correct tennis talk show in the world. Something interesting was said last night during the broadcast. We've heard this before, but Johnny McEnroe, Patty Mack, Chris Fowler, they all agreed. Johnny Mack said it again. Alcaraz, at 20 years old, is the best player, the most complete tennis player we have ever seen. Think about that for a second, because Uncle Toni said this, and it got me pondering this whole thing. Take a look at what Uncle Toni said. Djokovic of today, who beat Carlos Alcaraz just recently in Cincinnati and may beat him again Sunday, is not nearly the player he was 5 to 10 years ago. Now, real quick, fact check. 5 years ago, early 2018, Djokovic was injured, was playing terrible. I think Djokovic today definitely beats Djokovic of early 2018. That's 5 years ago. Now, I don't think that's what Uncle Toni means. I'm kind of joking. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, let's just say Djokovic in his prime. Let's go 2011 Djokovic. Let's go Djokovic 5 years ago when he beats Nadal in that epic 5-set match at the Wimbledons. Is that Djokovic so much better than this Djokovic today? I don't think so. They asked Roger Federer something like this around that time, 2018, when he started winning majors again. And he said he would beat himself, his younger self, because his game, maybe he moves a little slower. Maybe he's not quite as fast as he was, but he still moved great, moved good enough to beat his younger self with all the skills that he had added. His serve got so much better. His net game got so much better. Djokovic was recently asked the question, like it might have been in Cincinnati. It was very recently. And he said, oh yeah, straight sets. I will beat myself. Straight sets. Now he was joking, I think, but I think he said 6-0, 6-0. I think he was joking about that. But I don't think he's joking. I think he does believe that he's better today because his game is so much better. It's so much more well-rounded. Now, it's true about Alcaraz. We haven't seen someone so well-rounded and so early. I mean, he literally can hit every shot. I got a clip from Danny Medvedev talking about that we'll play later in the show today. But my question is, if Djokovic is not nearly... Is Uncle Toni just being a hater here? Do comment below what you think of that. But more importantly, comment what you think about this idea of if Djokovic is not nearly as good as he used to be, what is this, a weak era? Why is he still winning? And what is Alcaraz? If Alcaraz, according to Johnny Mack, is the most complete, most excellent tennis player we've ever seen at this age, why is he able to lose to this washed-up old man Djokovic version that Howdy Doody Tennis on their Instagram says, and the picture I put up there, Djokovic is getting old. They're a little bit trolly when they say stuff like that. I think they're just trying to get attention, kind of joke around. But yeah, if Djokovic is all washed up and old and not as good as he was 10 years ago, why is he beating Alcaraz if Alcaraz is the most complete, incredible player we've ever seen at the age of 20? Comment below what you think about that. I'll say this, we'll never know, right? I would love to see 25-year-old Nadal, 23, whatever, any age of Nadal in his 20s playing in his prime. The Nadal from 2008 that won Wimbledon. I'd love to see him teleported to 1984 Wimbledon, where the courts play way faster than 2008 Wimbledon, and play the winner of that year, Johnny Mack, when he was almost undefeated in the year of 1984. Who would win that match? I don't know. The court plays so much faster, it'd be interesting to see. What if they both had wooden rackets? What if they both had Babolat's? Give Johnny Mack a pro staff or Roger Federer a Wilson pro staff. I don't know. There's no way to answer these questions, but it is interesting. It is interesting to try. It's fun to try to answer these questions. Anyways, we'll get to more of that in the show today. But first, I have to address something you might have noticed. I'm drinking a water with lemon like Novak Djokovic. They asked Djokovic, what do you drink? Because he said, I'm going to be kicking up my feet. I'm going to kick up my feet and watch the match. It sounds like a Jamaican guy. He's going to watch Tiafoe and Shelton with his special drink. And the interviewee, I think it was Renee Stubbs, she said, what is your special drink? And Djokovic says, water with lemon. That is what I drink, water with lemon. I have it here, but this is not where I heard about it first. In fact, you might see, look at that. See those little things that look like frog eggs in there? They're chia seeds. This is next level from Novak Djokovic. I was already on this. Now, it's a funny story how I found out about this. Now, you guys might have heard of Instagram. I understand it's like TikTok now. I won't use TikTok, because it's got the Chinese spies on it and all that. But I don't want the Chinese spies to come get me. So I don't use the TikTok. But other people use it. They tell me about it. And I understand Instagram with the reels, the little rectangles that are side by side. You'll get 4 of them side by side and you can swipe through them. When you're going up and down, then you go sideways to pick the little reels. My reels, I understand they're copying TikTok the way they work. And if you click one thing, like one time I clicked pickleball, And then they showed me nothing but pickleball stuff for a while, and I had to make sure I did a boycott of pickleball. I didn't touch any pickleball stuff, and Instagram finally stopped showing me pickleball. They figured out, okay, he's tennis. So they went back to my reels of Roger Federer highlights, Djokovic on the practice court, Alcaraz hitting an incredible shot. They went back to giving me stuff like that. But then one time, for some reason, they showed me a lady with a giant butt, and I clicked it. I clicked it one time. That was all it took. Next thing you know, I'm not getting 4 or 5 videos of Roger Federer side by side anymore. I'm getting all these girls with giant butts. And now I'm a nice guy. I didn't want Instagram to take it the wrong way. So, I would click them. I didn't want to discourage them and say, "Oh, you got it wrong." It's like if you get a gift that you don't want, you don't just give it away. You don't push it away right away. You say, "Oh, thanks for this. Thank you. Thank you." So, as I let Instagram know, okay, I'll just one. I'm going to watch more tennis clips, but I'll look at the girl with the giant butt occasionally because I didn't want to offend the Instagram. Anyways, that's unrelated to this, actually. No, it's a little bit related because at some point, Instagram figured if this guy likes ladies with giant butts, maybe he will like ladies with giant boobs. And then again, I didn't ask for this. I clicked one time on a lady with giant breasts. I don't know why I'm doing this. I think you know what I'm talking about. And she happened to be a lifestyle health guru influencer. And I heard her talk about this drink. Not only will it make you look younger, right? Do you want to get older like Novak Djokovic is getting older? Like myself? Like Rafa Nadal? Like Roger Federer? No. This lemon, it detoxifies you and reverses the aging process, it turns out, according to this lady. And then these here chia seeds, they give you, and this is what I really want, what is called a snatch waist. I'd never heard of this before. But it's kind of like a 6-pack of abs for a guy. So I got this. I call it my snatch water for short instead of snatched water, snatch waist. I just call it snatch water. And I got to say, it's very good. And it's very similar to what the GOAT Novak Djokovic himself drinks. So if you don't want to get older, like Novak Djokovic is doing according to Uncle Toni, if you don't want to get older, drink snatch water. At least that's what the girl with the giant boobs said. Welcome to Coffee Break Tennis. J'ai tout mon accoutrement. I have them all. Le droit, les raquettes, les snatch, le de snatchwasser. It's French and German. Welcome to the show. We got it all. We're excited to be here. Just looking at my draw really quick, it's looking pretty good. Alcaraz beats Zverev in the quarterfinals. Alcaraz beats the man whose name we cannot say anymore because he is banned from the show for losing in the second round. What a loser. But I feel like such an idiot for going with this guy whose name we cannot say. We speak his name no more. I feel like such an idiot for taking him over Medvedev. I won't even, normally I'd put the draw on the screen so you can see it. I'm not going to because I don't want to take the time in editing to blur his name out because we can't show his name. But I'll tell you one thing. It rhymes with doobie. And that's what he must have been smoking. He must have been over on court 17, this guy, when he lost in that second round. He must have been hanging out in Corona Park doing the doobies because he got beat. Where did he get beat? I don't even want to know. I'm disgusted. Medvedev, I did have him in the quarterfinal, losing to the man whose name we speak no longer. And now he will be facing Alcaraz in the semifinal. And I think this will be a good match. I think Alcaraz, of course, will win. On the other side, I had Tommy Paul and TFO, with TFO losing in the quarterfinals. I was adamant that TFO would lose in the quarterfinals, and that he did. But it was to Shelton. In a surprise, I have a friend, a young friend, a couple. Someone I taught a tennis lesson also told me about this. Explained this and that from the last video's thumbnail, as you know. Fritz in the quarterfinals losing the Djoker. We almost had it perfectly. We had it perfect, except I had Shelton. I had Rune losing to Tommy Paul in the round 4 if he was healthy, with Shelton being the replacement. If Rune was not healthy and had the back injury, it's still a problem. I guess that was it. Or it was a mental problem for being put on court 17 next to that Corona Park stuff. Anyways, we're pretty darn close to having the perfect quarterfinals here and the perfect Final Four. We're very close. I still like my prediction of Nole winning, Alcaraz winning, and Nole going to the final. I'm going to say 4 sets. Medvedev takes a set. Ben Shelton takes a set, and then we get the rematch from Cincinnati, the rematch from Wimbledon, the rematch from the French Open. We get what we all want, Carlos Alcaraz. You know, it's funny because Zverev at the beginning of the tournament was complaining that, you know, some players like him weren't getting as much attention from the media and the ATP. They weren't promoting them the same way that they were promoting Djokovic and Carlitos Alcaraz. Let's put that down there on the table. Because did you see what Roger Federer said? I'm going with Novak Djokovic to win the US Open this year. That's what he said. He said it's a good bet, so lock your bet in, put your wallet on the table. We're betting on Novak Djokovic to win it here too. But I got to tell you, I'm a little nervous about that bet because Alcaraz does look incredible. He looked really good against Zverev, but that's Zverev. That's not Novak Djokovic. Remember how good Zverev looked at the US Open last year? In a way, he did beat Djokovic. You know, he stopped him from beating Medvedev. I think he took so much out of him. But lucky for Djokovic, I don't think Shelton's going to be able to do that. Djokovic will be fresher in the final. I think he'll be able to beat Alcaraz, but it's going to be a crazy match. It's going to be pure suffering for them. Anyways, I just saw the picture from just a second ago. Yeah, if you want to follow the lifestyle guru with the giant boobs, I showed it to you for a brief second there, so you can find it. Anyways, good tips. Good tips. You want to get a snatched waist, drink snatched water like me. It's okay. It's okay. It's so good. Ben Shelton. What am I looking for? I had something here to show you. God, I got distracted. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. Let's just start with some of my pictures here. Some of my world famous pictures. I mean, I had one I wanted to show you in particular. What was it? Okay, we'll just start with this. Ben Shelton. First NCAA men's champion to reach a slam semifinal since John McEnroe in 1992. What will happen to Ben Shelton? Well, Nick Kyrgios has some ideas on that. Nick Kyrgios predicts the winner of Novak Djokovic-Ben Shelton semifinal match. He says, drumroll please, in my professional opinion, Novak wins. I mean, it's an easy pick to make. But I do think he can grab a set. I do think Medvedev can grab a set. Now, about this business with Ben Shelton. My friend MJ, Marcus, he helps me coach the little kids. I used to teach him. He's in college now. I think he's about 19, so he's like Ben Shelton's age. A little bit younger than Ben Shelton. And first he saw my video and he said, I'm going to hang up that call and stick with the PlayStation. But he said, really, this is about the haters. He said, you know, people maybe got excited about him in January when he got to the quarters of the Aussie. And then he had a rough year and the haters weren't interested anymore, right? They were saying he's a wash-up. You know, he's not going to make it, right? He's a bust. And then they see what happens at the U.S. Open, and the haters are calling, and Ben Shelton says, oh, now you guys think I might be something again? You're interested? I'm not. So I saw some people were making fun of Ben Shelton for that, saying it was cringy. It was Gen Z cringe. But I think actually this is pretty good. Pretty good. I like that. Haters, now the haters are interested? Well, haters back off. Anyways, moving on from there. I'm so happy for Ben Shelton. I think Djokovic will crush him. Crush him. Sasha Zverev says his biggest weapon was taken away in the Carlos Alcaraz defeat. I think it's true. It sounds like excuse making, but it was obviously, you know, the Johnny Mac and Patty Mac noticed it in the match. I think it was obviously true. I was in the match, says Sasha Zverev. In the first set, I was there. I could have broken. It could have gone my way. It didn't. Second set, I felt something in my hamstring glute, left side. I couldn't push off on my serve anymore. My serve speed down quite a lot. It was obvious. This happened. It was true. Compared to the other days, against him especially, I need a good serving day. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult. I think my biggest weapon was kind of taken away after that first set. And yeah, it's difficult to even compete if you don't have that. Zverev was asked, oh, did this start because of the center match? He said it didn't. It didn't start at all there. He said, I felt nothing during the center match regarding the injury. I felt nothing going into this match with Carlos. It just kind of appeared mid-match. The problem is that it really bothered me. It bothered me running a little bit, but the biggest problem is pushing off on my serve. I think the serve speed goes down, percentage goes down. It's very difficult to compete with Carlos. Absolutely true. That's fair observation. Then he had another comment to make. They asked him, how do Alcaraz and Djokovic compare to the field right now? And he says, I played against Novak and Cincy. I played against Carlos here. Their levels are similar. Novak does some things better. So does Carlos. Novak and Carlos are on their level right now, and everyone else has to catch up. Absolutely true. Let's go to Medvedev. A great effort from Zverev. I think this guy, a lot of people asked Pete. I'm pretty sure it was Pete who said this. I said, Pete, does Zverev still win a major one day? He said no. He said he missed his little window. Window is tiny and le fenêtre fermée. It closes. Anyways, I think Zverev could win a major still. I'll give him a chance to grab one major. I mean, I guess if you can win one, you can win two. But I think he still has a chance. I think what he did this year is pretty impressive. And, it makes me... Was it Juan Carlos Ferrero, who's now with Alcaraz? I think he coached... David Ferrer coached him for a little bit, I think, Zverev. And I want to say Juan Carlos Ferrero worked with Zverev for a little, and then he fired Zverev. The coach fired the player because of his work ethic. He said he would show up late. He's looking at his phone. TFO also has been heard stories about that. Coaches not liking TFO looking at his phone a lot in practice, not being more focused. And Zverev was basically saying, like, I don't want to start early. And Juan Carlos Ferrero was saying, like, no, we start practice early. And Zverev was like, no, I get up when I get up. I show up when I show up. And Juan Carlos Ferrero was like, see ya. He was out. I think maybe Zverev, with all the stuff he's gone through, with the injury, being so close, having been brought down to nothing, I think that gave him a new attitude. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm not. I think he has a new attitude. I think maybe he's becoming a better person in general. And I think what he's done this year is impressive. I give him a chance to still win a major. I think it is possible for Zverev. He'll need a good draw. He'll need all the stars to align possibly, but I'll say it's possible. Now, Alcaraz, why is he so damn good? Medvedev, what do you think? What is special about Alcaraz? Go!
Yeah, I would say what makes him that difficult is just that he has every shot. He has extra power to other players. So if it's true, many players probably I would go with 97%. It's tough for them to hit the ball through me. Like, I'm always there, always running, always trying to get it back. He can do it just because he has this power. We see it, 100 a mile, a forehand winner and stuff like this. Some players, even if we try, we cannot do it. So that's one thing. He's good from forehand, backhand. He can slice, drop shot. So he has every shot in the game.
I can't hit up forehand over 100 miles an hour. I don't think so. I think my big forehand is like 80 something. Anyways, you heard that there. Excuse me. Got some of those frog eggs stuck in my throat from the snatch water. He's got the ability to hit through anyone, even the man. What does he call it? The octopus man, who's like impossible to hit through. He moves well. He backs way up. He's got the longest arms. That's why he's the octopus man, and he strangles himself on the forehand. Is that what Rublev called him, the octopus man, something like that? It was pretty funny. Anyways, I think that's very, very true. And let me get the next clip queued up of Medvedev talking. I think that's very, very true. And I think Medvedev is going to say something that's very important up next. But Alcaraz is one of the few people that can rev it up like that at any time. He did it against Zverev a few times last night. He hit, remember Ben Shelton hit like a 104 or 105 mile an hour forehand? Yeah, it was 105 that Ben Shelton hit on that set point against TFO. That was kind of the shot that broke TFO, totally. Like after that, he was broken. Not like broken serve. He was like a broken man. No chance to come back and win. Last night, Alcaraz did it a few times where he just randomly revved up a huge forehand against Zverev in the middle of a rally, and one of them, he one-upped it. It was 106 miles per hour. Anyways, listen to this next part.
Tennis was never... you can always beat players. People beat Novak. People even beat Rafa on clay, which is almost impossible, but some players do. It's the same about Carlos. Every time I will be playing against him, I want to try to win. So I said it one time already. I need to serve better than I did the previous matches. I need to serve on the line if I need to. I need to put my shots on the line and stuff like this. I need to be there 100% of the time and be better.
You get the idea. So it's going to be a big challenge for Alcaraz. I mean, for Medvedev playing against Alcaraz. He can hit through anything, even the octopus man. But this sport, no one is infallible. No one is perfect. Everyone loses. Roger Federer lost at Wimbledon when he looked invincible. He lost at the US Open after winning 5 in a row. Rafa Nadal, even though it looks impossible, as Medvedev pointed out, has lost at the French Open. People have beaten Novak Djokovic on hard courts. Someone beat Novak Djokovic, who should have never had a chance, right? No one gave Alcaraz a chance to beat Djokovic at Wimbledon. Of all places, Wimbledon was the place where you would bet your life on it, and thank God we didn't. because we would have lost our lives if we bet on Djokovic to win that Wimbledon with our lives. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to that match. They played this year already. Now, I want to say Medvedev beat Alcaraz in Miami, but he didn't. Sinner did. Then Medvedev beat Sinner. Medvedev gets spanked by Alcaraz at Indian Wells. Now, this court is going to play closer to the Australian Open, which I guess is closer to Miami, but it's even faster. Now, the conditions are it's less humid in Australia and much more humid in the US Open. More humid in Miami, I think, although it is in the spring, so maybe not. Maybe they're more comparable. But we'll put it like that. The conditions are definitely not like California, in Indian Wells where Medvedev got beat so bad. And Medvedev said, these conditions are so good for, plus it was windy that day too, I think. Those conditions were so good for Alcaraz. So I throw that match out. And then Medvedev, he did go on to win. He is Miami Mez. He went on to win that tournament, beating Sinner in the final after Sinner beat Alcaraz in the semifinals. And you saw how, the Sinner game is more like Medvedev, who is like Djokovic with a big serve, taller, longer arms. Coverage of the court is probably very similar. I give Medvedev a chance, actually. I say Medvedev has a better chance of beating Alcaraz than Shelton has a chance of beating Djokovic. And I think this will be probably a better match overall. I think the contrast with Djokovic and Shelton, the huge serving and the big power that Shelton's going to bring, and then the fact that it's Djokovic who's going to get to everything. It'll be similar. The matchups are kind of similar. Alcaraz, he gets to everything better than those guys, maybe. But he's going to hit big booming power, and you're going to see Medvedev soaking up everything and able to get through a lot. But as he said, he's going to be able to hit through them. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think Alcaraz wins. But I do give Medvedev a chance, and I love that he says that. I love what Medvedev said at the beginning of the tournament. Zverev was kind of complaining about it, but Medvedev said, it's okay that they're all talking about Alcaraz and Djokovic. I would too. My job is by the end of the US Open to make everyone talk about me. So I like Medvedev's attitude. I always love Medvedev. He's been a lot of funny stuff we haven't had a chance to talk about, but he said a lot of funny stuff. I'm sure you guys all saw the moment when Medvedev said, the trainer asked him, what's wrong? He says, what's wrong? I just lost a set. Give me whatever you gave him, because he gave the opponent something before he lost the set. Anyways, let's move on to, that's it for my clips and stuff here. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else here. Nope, that's it that's it on La Computadora. I guess hit the music. I gotta do a lot. I gotta teach some tennis lessons. I gotta fly to New York City. Excited to be there for the match. Excited to be here with you today. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's a travel day, and of course the matches. But we will be back Saturday. I'll get a video up as fast as I can Saturday. Like I said, I got some cool stuff planned. Final predictions. Alcaraz in 4. I might go Djokovic in 3 over Ben Shelton, actually. Ben Shelton goes down in straight sets. I hope not, because I'm going to be there and I want to see 4. Maybe, it'd be nice to see 5, but I don't want it. Djokovic needs to get through this in straight sets if he's going to have a full tank of energy to take on Alcaraz. Medvedev, I think he can give Alcaraz a really tough match and take a little out of him, which will help set up the final. My prediction, Djokovic wins over Alcaraz in the final. Maybe Medvedev can pull it off. We shall see. I think they'll both be pretty good matches, actually. I'd say Alcaraz-Medvedev is probably going to be a better match. It's going to be a longer, closer match. And I think they both will have some awesome style contrasts and incredible points. You're going to see world-class movement. You're going to see so much long rallies for Medvedev and Alcaraz. It's going to be awesome. Anyways, thank you for joining us. We'll be back. When we see you again, we'll be in New York City. See ya!